Hey T Squad, it's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of New York City, Season 15, Episode 2 review. I want to say thank you to everybody who has sent an email to askkeishaandmo@gmail.com. We are bringing the show back. It's an advice show that you guys send in emails to us regarding any advice you need on your relationships, friendships, your marriage, your kids, whatever. And me and my bestie Mo will give you our pertinent, wonderful, funny, hilarious, and meaningful, thoughtful advice. So thank you to everybody who has already sent in your email. If you haven't gotten a chance yet, email us at askkeishaandmo@gmail.com. The email is listed down below in the description box. We have an episode coming very, very soon. Okay, so, and do not forget that this Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time, I'll be going live again with a live Spill the Tea. If you missed Monday's episode, it's up right now on my channel. We had so much fun. It was super funny and hilarious. Okay, so on episode 2, we see Erin and her mom go wig shopping because Erin's mom is going through chemotherapy. We also see that Erin cut her hair shoulder length in support of her mom going through this big change in her life. And we also found out in this episode that Erin is her mom's only child. Her siblings are from her father's second marriage. Did not know that. Ubah joins them because, you know, Erin and Ubah are super, super, super close. They sit down and have a one-on-one conversation while Erin's mom is trying on wigs. And they bring up what happened at Brynn's party. And Erin says that she feels like Brynn tried to sabotage her friendship with Jenna. I agree with that. I think that Brynn is trying to stir the pot so we can have drama within the group, and it's working. You know, it's not like anything huge. You know what I'm saying? Is she being messy? 1000%. But somebody got to do it because who else is going to be the villain? You know what I'm saying? So apparently Erin tells us that on one of their girls' trip off camera, Jenna had a conversation where she told the girls that she has had money problems in the past. Let me correct myself. I don't know if it was off camera or if they filmed it and they just didn't show it season 1. But Erin feels like that when Brynn went back and told Jenna that she supposedly called her poor, that was the first thing that probably popped up in her head, is when she told the girls that in the past she has had money issues. You know what I'm saying? But Erin was like, that wasn't even the case or whatever. Do I think that Erin called her poor? No, I don't think that Erin called her poor. Do I think that Erin was like, I paid for this dang on $200-something Uber and she ain't pay me back? Like, that's like gross or tacky. Absolutely, I can see Erin saying that 1000%. So Erin then brings up to Ubah how Abe made a big decision behind her back while she's been going through stuff with her mom. And she starts to cry. And when she cried, I'm looking at the TV like, where are the tears? No moisture. Dry as the Sahara Desert. And I said, okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Okay, but I'm literally sitting like maybe 5 feet away from my screen, right? So I see her eyes in her face. And I'm like, okay, Keisha, we're not going to go there yet. We're not going to go there. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I don't see no tears. Now, mind you, she's crying about her mom's illness and her marriage problems, right? But there's no tears. Keep that in mind. So Jenna meets up with Sai, and she relays to Sai that multiple people outside of Brynn have told her the stuff that Sai has said about her. Now, I noticed, or maybe they just didn't show it, that Sai didn't address that part. She kept on saying, well, I never said I hated you. I never said that. But she didn't address that other part. Girl, Sai, you was talking mad about Jenna. Just go ahead and admit it. You was talking cash about that lady. You didn't fuck with her and you didn't like her. Okay? So, Sai goes on to tell Jenna that she sent the group a text message basically apologizing for the way that she acted at Brynn's event, and that she texted Brynn separately also apologizing. Brynn read it, left her on read, and didn't respond, right? So of course Sai is now feeling some type of way about that. Sai says that, you know, the big thing is everybody want to label me the bad guy when I go off, but Brynn does the exact same thing. She just doesn't do it on camera. Okay. And so she brings up this text message that Brynn sent the group, and it read, I don't scream or yell. I won't bash you in the press. No, not my style. I'm far too intelligent and smart for that. Someone who tried to fuck with me once called me carbon monoxide, invisible, odorless, and sucks the very life out of you before you even have the chance to realize it. Girl, I would have told her, and I'm like a fire flame. I'm going to turn on the gas and blow you up. Don't threaten me. Oh, I don't know what you think this is, but I ain't the one nor the two. So Sai was like, you know, she will email us or text us, cussing us out, this, that, and the third, but don't nobody say nothing about that. And now that we're getting this context on Brynn behind the scenes, it's once again making Brynn look like the villain. Like she's constantly doing effed up, and because she's Brynn and because she's cutesy wootsy, you know, they let her off with it. But she's playing the game, if you want to call it smartly, that she's doing this stuff off camera so she won't be vilified. Whereas Sai don't give a f***. She's going to do it on or off camera. But I don't think Brynn was anticipating them bringing her off-screen shenanigans on screen. And that's where she messed up and where people are starting to see a different side of her this season. So Erin visits Brynn so they can have a one-on-one conversation about what's been going on between them. And she visits Brynn at her new house or whatever. And before she gets there, Brynn was going to give her some Evian water, but decided she was going to give her tap water instead because she don't fuck with that hoe. So she gets there to her house. She got to walk up all these dang on steps or whatever. Brynn sitting on her couch, like, got an attitude right off rip, barely acknowledges Erin's presence. Erin was like, hi. She was like, hey, it's some water over there if you want it. What's up? Girl, I would have been like, you ain't got to worry about me because you can save that attitude for somebody else. But Erin, you know, proceeded on, and Brynn was like, the hair is cute because you're going through and had to cut your hair. And Brynn was like, yeah. But in her confessional, she was like, yeah, bitch, my mama's going through cancer, like, you know this, like, what the fuck? Like, you being very passe about the situation. I didn't like that for Brynn. Didn't like that at all, because it's like, once again, you're proving everybody right with your insensitivity to other people's issues. You know what I'm saying? So they sit down and they going back and forth about the issue, and Brynn was like, I've never yelled at a friend in public. And Erin was like, yeah, because you're carbon monoxide, right? Brynn's face paused for a second like, oh, shit, they bringing that shit up on camera. And it's like she quickly, like, got her composure. She was like, yeah. But she wasn't expecting for Erin to bring that text up on camera. So Brynn was like, you know, I've come too far in my life. This isn't Staten Island. And Erin was like, please, I'm a born and raised city person. Don't call me Staten Island. Like, what is a city skinny person. Girl, if you don't get somewhere and sit down. So, Erin was like, I apologize or whatever. And Brynn apologizes to her. And Erin once again gets emotional and starts to cry, talking about how she's going through so much with her mom. And I think she even brought up Abe. I can't remember, but specifically she was talking about her mother. I know this for a fact. And once again, I'm looking at my screen, and this is exactly what this lady did, y'all. Verbatim. Let me take off my glasses. This lady said, I'm just going through so much with my mom. I'm just going through so much, and I just need you to be here right now, Brynn. I just really do, It's really hard for me right now. Yeah. So, back to the group. And it was like, what? Like, she immediately just stopped crying. Not now tear came out her eye. She literally did a, okay, enough of that. And it was like, where the tears at, girl? I know this is going to be a controversial statement, but I'm just going to keep it a buck and keep it real, because that's what I do on this channel. I don't sugarcoat nothing for nobody. Erin is weaponizing her mother's illness and her quote-unquote marriage problems to gain sympathy and to, what's the word I'm looking for? If anybody was to call her on her ish for the shit that she does, well, my mom's going through cancer and I'm having marriage problems, so please, lay off of me. That's what she's doing, because that lady was not crying at all. And my mama going through cancer, you gonna see tears, okay? Tears. Not one tear dropped out of that lady's eye. Not one bit of water produced in her lower lids, ma'am. There was no tears. And she's using this as a get out of jail free card to gain sympathy for the women so they won't come at her this season. Yeah. And I think that that's some absolute, and I hate to say that about somebody, but I'm just speaking facts and what I'm seeing. That lady was not crying at all. She's not that tore up from what we're seeing about her mama and what's going on in her marriage. And by the way, when we find out in this episode what the issues were in her marriage that she didn't want to bring up last week, she wasn't ready to talk about. Girl, I ain't got time for Erin. I really, honestly do not have time for her and her fake theatrics this season. Jenna got a new Rolls Royce. She said, I'm going to show you. Y'all talked about my old school. Check out this new caramel color 2024 Rolls Royce that I'm about to pull up in on that ass. Okay, real quick. So Erin and her husband Abe go out to dinner together. And the big issue that they're going through that he did behind her back was that Abe sold their Bitcoin. I'm thinking that this man done cheated on her. I'm thinking that this man done boom bopped her on the forehead. I'm thinking that this man done sold their house from up under them or something. This lady up here talking about how he sold some Bitcoin without her knowledge. Now, is that something to be upset about? 1,000%, especially depending on the amount of money. And it seems like it was in the six figures or so. They were going to use that money to pay off their mortgage. But when Erin went to go check it, she saw that the money was gone. And then when she confronted Abe about it, she found out that he sold the Bitcoin years ago when it was at its lowest. So she was pissed off about that. Then on top of that, she found out that this business that they previously had, it was a handbag business that I guess he wanted to start up because they show a flashback of her talking to the girls about it. And she was like, this wasn't my business, it wasn't my company, it wasn't something I wanted to do. But anywho, obviously it wasn't successful. And she found out that he didn't pay off the bills that they still had for this bag company, that they still owe money on this defunct business. So, of course, I would be upset if my husband is out here lying to me, making me think that our finances are good when in all actuality, they're not in certain instances. So I was like, okay, you have every right in the world to be upset about that. Is that something big enough to bring onto the show for me, and for you to be acting like I just don't want to talk about it, I'm not ready yet? Girl, get somewhere and sit down, because at the end of the day, y'all still rich, y'all not in a poorhouse, y'all not able to pay y'all rent or nothing like that, y'all still are good. You know what I'm saying? But Abe said something really poignant to me in his confessional, because during their conversation, they talk about how they first met, and Erin was basically talking about how she was a hot commodity, was flying her out on private jets, this, that, and the third. Like, she was out here when she met him. Abe came from, a good family, don't get me wrong, and he even says this, but he didn't come from a financially wealthy family like Erin did. And he says that he was very insecure when he met her because she was getting flued out and all this type of stuff. And he feels and says that he has the pressure on his back to provide a certain lifestyle for her. And that's why sometimes he kept stuff from her, because he didn't want to worry her or let her down, pretty much. And I get Erin wanting to live the lifestyle she has been accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? But she also needs to take into account that, her husband does have a lot of pressure on his back trying to maintain this wealthy lifestyle. And the man looked like he was scared that if I don't give her what she wants, she's going to leave me, So that right there to me is the bigger problem. The bigger problem that they need to be focusing on right then and there. So Ubah relays to us that she don't trust Brynn neither, because Brynn be out here twisting stories and turning it around and balling it up into a ball and then want to pull it back out again and act like it ain't never been crinkled up. So don't nobody trust Brynn at this point. Maybe Jenna, but the other girls ain't really checking for her like that. And Jessel, I'll say. So then at the end of the episode, Erin has invited all the girls back out to her Hampton abode again. We're going to do this over, try it again. So Sai plans on riding out there with Ubah, who didn't want to ride on the helicopter with the other girls. She says that she just wanted to drive or whatever, didn't have anything to do with Brynn or nothing like that. And what's her name? Jenna wanted to drive her own car out there. So it ended up just being Brynn, Jessel, and Rebecca to take the helicopter out there. And Raquel, I think she was driving or something like that out there too. Child, they forgot about her, just like I forgot about Raquel so far. So as soon as they get on the helicopter is when Brynn busts out and says to Rebecca, so if anybody like in the press or anything asks us about the whole Scientology thing, what do you want us to say? And Rebecca was like, you could just say no comment. So I didn't know this, but Rebecca Minkoff is a Scientologist or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's why they casted her, because they wanted to get into the whole Scientology of it all. But from what I'm seeing and from what we saw in the trailer, she's not about to say anything about it. She's not giving them what they were hoping for. And that's why she's a dud. And that's why she's a friend of. She basically was like, just say no comment. If they want to learn about it, watch the movie. I'm like, what movie? I'm like, okay, girl. All right, whatever. But that was basically the end of the episode. It looks like on next week's episode, Brynn and Ubah are going to get into it. and things look like they're going to start rocking and rolling. Overall, I'm going to give this week's episode of rhony, I'm going to give it a C+. I think once again where Bravo is going wrong with the rhony is that I'm enjoying the reboot. Don't get me wrong. Is it on the level of the OGs? Absolutely not. And that's the problem. They need the OGs on this show. It should have been a mixture of both. And if they want rhony to persist, that's what they need to do for season 16. Bring back Luann, bring back Sonia, and bring back Dorinda. You can get rid of, honestly, you get rid of Raquel. Rebecca ain't doing nothing. Get rid of her ass. And you can get rid of Jenna, to be honest with you. Get rid of them. Bring back the 3 OGs. Keep Sai, keep Erin, keep Jessel, and keep Brynn. And bring on the OGs. You have a show there. Because these girls are not getting ready to spill each other's tea. They not gonna go for the jugular and bring stuff up unless they're absolutely 1000% pushed to the limit, okay? You need a Dorinda, a Luann, and a Sonia that's going to bring shit up and get the ball rolling, who are going to have these kooky drunk moments, who have no problem spilling their own tea and giving us their in-depth life stories and what they have going on. And these girls are so camera ready and aware of the cameras that they're never going to really divulge their tea for real. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Bravo is missing. And the ratings for the season premiere episode was at a series low of like 300,000 views, which was terrible. And it's only gonna go down from there. It's a flop already, unfortunately. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. If you have not joined me over on Patreon, please do so as well. My reviews are over there uncensored. And we're watching Fight Night and Selling Sunset also. So if you want to watch those shows with me, join me over on Patreon. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.